Hello, everybody. Welcome to Let's Talk Football. My name is John Halpin, alongside Chris Palma. How you doing today, my brother?
Doing good, man. What a week. There was a lot happening in week 3. It's gonna be a great week.
We are entering week 4, and week 3 has brought us some spectacular games that I just can't wait to get right into. So let's just get right into it. Let's start with our week 3 recap, talking first with the first game of the week, the Miami Dolphins versus the Buffalo Bills. And the Bills come away victorious 31-21, but the Dolphins put up a solid fight. It wasn't until Tua threw a very late game interception, just completely derailed their chance of winning, but Dolphins had a good showing. Was this a sign of life for the Dolphins despite them being over?
Who knows? They got to play better overall. The Bills, of course, are the Bills. You can make it competitive, but at the end of the day, you need your quarterback to make timely throws, and making timely and costly mistakes are not what you need late in the game. So they need to continue to grow and get better. It could be a sign of life, or it could just be like a hiccup and a roll in the mud.
I mean, hey, we'll have to see how the season unfolds, but 0-3 is not a good start for the Dolphins, but there could still be a sign of life for them in week 4 when they play the 3 Jets. But we'll get to the Jets. But let's move to Sunday's slate of games, starting with Minnesota beating Cincinnati 48-10. This was Carson Wentz's debut as a Minnesota Viking, as playing the backup for J.J. McCarthy, who did not play this game, and Jake Browning, who was backing up an injured Joe Burrow, as we mentioned last week. But man, this was all about that Minnesota defense.
Yeah, no, the Bengals offense didn't stand a chance, and it's like that's when you can see when the culture runs through one person. That is the other side of this coin. When he is not around, you will not succeed. And it's unfortunate for Cincy that it's happened again because they refuse to listen and invest in an offensive line.
Yeah. And again, it's the question I want to be following throughout this whole year. But we kind of got the answer to it very early. Can good quarterbacks overcome bad organizations? And so far, the answer has been no. But we'll have to see as the pool opens up later this year. But let's move to Jacksonville, where the Jacksonville Jaguars defeat the Houston Texans 17-10. Houston falling to 0-3. What is happening in Houston?
This may be my opinion, maybe a little unpopular. They unravel totally with that Tank Dell injury. It is undeniable that his absence is being felt. It's just, I think that shook the locker room, which rightfully so. It was one of the more catastrophic injuries I think this league has ever seen. Still hope for a quality recovery for Tank Dell. His career is probably up in question right now. But for Houston, you gotta move forward. Have to move forward. This is more than a sophomore slump. This is an entire team that is totally flatlined.
Yeah, it's not looking too good for Houston. Again, they have a solid defense, man, but their offense has been flat ever since last
Flat.
year. Like, it's just been flat. So Houston, again, playing another division rival next week. They play the Tennessee Titans, whom lost to the Indianapolis Colts 41-20. This was another great showing by Indiana Jones. But now the Titans and the Texans play each other next week. So we have two 0-3 matchups heading into week 4, which is pretty wild.
Yeah, it's pretty wild to think that there's so many winless teams this year, but Daniel Jones in Indiana, it's slowly becoming that Indiana's going to be a dangerous team in this league again. And it has not been long since they were a dangerous team in this league. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's fun. This is one of those teams where it's like when they do good, it's good for the sport. So I'm happy to see Indiana finally catching a little bit of wind in their sails and going off to a race maybe.
Indiana Jones, man, the biggest surprise of this year. I don't think anyone had that on their bingo card, except T. I know T was
He kind of
he
called
called
that
that
one
early,
as
but
soon as it happened. He was like, "Watch it happen." And respectfully, we all kind of laughed at it, thinking that it's Daniel Jones. But remember what Malik Neighbor said: it's not the quarterback. So keep an eye out for that one.
man, neighbors, God bless his soul.
God
Let's
bless him.
move to Washington, where the Commanders beat the Raiders 41-24, and this was Marcus Mariota filling in for an injured Jaden Daniels. So Marcus Mariota, hats off to you for really taking control of this game.
Yeah, he did what he needed to do as a veteran backup. He knows how to play the game. He knows how to coast in a game and bring them to victory. So Good on him.
So Raiders, they ain't looking too good with them so far, but we'll have to keep an eye on them as the season moves forward. Let's move to Philadelphia, where we had the Eagles beat the Rams 33-26. This was a very interesting comeback for the Eagles. And like we talked about last week, right? Don't doubt the capabilities of this Eagles offense. When they fell behind, Jalen Hurts, sorry, was he torched them. He had such a great game against the Rams defense, and he was throwing it. And I, like we said last week, puts all the doubters to rest. Just if you had any doubts about this Eagles offense, put it to rest. But man, that block field goal right at the end to seal the game, that was
Jordan Davis, man.
I
330
I
pounds moving at almost 19 miles an hour.
yeah,
That is a
big man was
marvel to
moving.
think of. Big man turned on the Jets. But I saw something today, and it puzzled me. When the core group of Jalen
Oh,
Hurts,
I saw
Saquon
this.
Barkley, A.J. Brown, and Devonta Smith are on the field, they are undefeated 18-0.
They won a Super Bowl before they've ever
With
lost a game
before their
together.
first loss together. So let's think about that one for a second when it comes to who's elite and who's not elite. That is an elite core group.
Oh,
Let's just
100%.
let's just not even start a conversation of who is elite. Beat that core group, and then we'll talk.
Yep. Oh man, it is fun in Philly, and Philly just retains at the top of everyone's power rankings, and rightfully so. They are still the champs, and they show they show why for complete team football. Rams still staying alive in the NFC West. We're gonna keep an eye on them as the season goes on as well. Let's move on to what may have been the shocker of. There were a few shockers, but Carolina putting a shutout, a 30-0 shutout on the Falcons. I don't think that was on anyone's bingo card. You and I both picked the Falcons. So
Yeah,
this
we both
game,
picked the Falcons.
crazy.
What the fuck? And I have a soft spot for Carolina. And I even said that I have a soft spot for Carolina going into Atlanta winning this game. What the fuck? We were just talking about Michael Penix's maturity. He played so fucking bad.
But he was mature about it.
He must have heard us. He was like, "Am I now?" And then fucking
Thanks for your
now they're talking about
appreciation.
bringing in Kirk Cousins again.
Oh my
How about
god.
bringing Kirk Cousins back on the field?
I knew Kirk Cousins
Dude,
was going to see the field at some point this year.
they fucking bench Michael Penix week 4. That is trouble in paradise.
I think they shouldn't do that. If they're going to give Penix a try, give it
You
for the
gotta give him a
majority of the
full
season.
year.
Like for instance, we knew the Giants were not going to have Russ play the whole year.
No.
But it was just a matter of when they put in Jackson Dart. Atlanta never had that problem of when to put in their backup quarterback. They were just hoping Penix was going to be good throughout the year. Now, let's be honest, it's a long season and it's easy to overreact to one game, but this is something where look, whatever issues you got to address, you got to look at this film and you got to really go through this film and say what went wrong. Well,
Because Carolina exposed you.
clearly the kicking game was also a problem in Atlanta because they missed a lot of field goals in this game as well. And so it's not just the offense. The special teams and the defense all need to be accountable for this. But Carolina, I'm glad you got your win and having a pulse so far. Can you sustain it though? That's the question.
I hope. I hope the pulse turns into a beat. I really do. I really do. And it's funny that you mentioned that the Falcons were missing field goals. Ironically, it's the game after they cut Young Ho Koo and started the rookie.
Yep.
Earned that one, Atlanta. Good on, fuckers. Go one. You cut one of the most accurate field goal kickers in the game and the most accurate long ball kickers in the game. Then you throw in a rookie. And you expect anything else?
Yeah, I don't know what Atlanta expected with that, but I don't think they expected shutout. And congrats to Carolina for getting the first shutout of the year.
Right.
I mean, that's pretty wild. But Carolina, interesting matchup against the Patriots next weekend, and Atlanta having a very interesting matchup against Washington next weekend. But speaking of the Patriots, they played your Steelers this past Sunday, and the Steelers won 21-14. But CP, I still see the flag is still upside down. Let me get your thoughts on this game.
I don't want to be too critical because we won. But this is now the third game out of 3 where we've allowed over 350 yards total offense. Week 1 against the Jets, 394 yards. Week 2 against the Seahawks, 395 yards. Week 3 against the Patriots, 369 yards. And each quarterback has gotten a 65% or higher pass completion rating. They are torching our defense. There was one specific sequence that I watched during this Patriot game. Mike Vrabel goes for fourth down 15% of the time that they are on offense. That when fourth downs come up. One of the least fourth down attempting coaches in the league. They are inside their own 20. It is 4th and 3. We let up a 17-yard play.
Oh my God.
17-yard play because we decided to play zone in the flats versus going in for the fucking kill. In that same drive, we let up 3 third and longs and a third and short in the goal line.
Mm-hmm.
So on defense, we went 0 for 5 on third down stops and 0 for 1 on a 4th and short inside their own red zone.
Mm-hmm.
In one drive, and let up a touchdown to Hunter Henry on an easy slant because there was no one on him. Untouched. Man had 2 touchdowns. Drake May had 75% pass completion. He ran for 45 yards. How dare anybody call this defense an all-time defense? Disrespectful. Again, I'm trying not to be too critical. I'm going to keep track of this the rest of the year.
Mm-hmm.
If this is the trajectory of a Mike Tomlin defense, I don't know that I want it.
It's tough, too. I guess the only silver lining takeaway is that the defense didn't let up that many points. And despite it breaking at certain points, to only let up 14, that's not bad. That's the only real silver lining I could see there. But again, teams having your way on defense, going for on fourth down with no fear. That really,
when you don't go for it on fourth down.
When you don't go for it, right? And there's something to be said about that where, look, they're just, why do I feel threatened about your defense? I'm going to go for it on fourth down.
It's why should I feel threatened about you guys?
Yeah. This
is what it's showing. And specifically, again, I don't want to take too much time because we're still in our recap. But we're very transparent. We can't stop the run on the side that TJ Watt is not on. Simply can't do it. 3 games in a row. Every run did not go to the right, to fucking his side.
And that's been a thing for so long too.
Right, but we used to be able to at least
fight against it. Yeah.
At least put a fight on the other side. These are fucking plays that are going for 35, 40 yards now. Mm-hmm. The only one fucking playing defense right now on our team is fucking Jalen Ramsey. Hats off Jalen Ramsey. Yeah. You're the only one fucking playing defense right now. I digress. Fuck.
We'll get more into the Steelers as it goes on, and we'll also keep an eye on the Patriots going forward. Let's move to Cleveland. Cleveland beating the Green Bay Packers 13-10. Right now, we got to give a hats off to Kevin Stefanski and this Cleveland defense, because in the AFC North, they are clearly the best defensive team by a wide margin over UI and the Bengals. And so hats off to Cleveland for really what might be the upset of the week. I don't think anyone expected this from Green Bay to put up only 10 points. I think that's more indicative of, again, how great that Cleveland defense is. But man, Green Bay, they're going to be coming into Jerry World very, very angry this week. And they have a guest.
Yeah, we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk about that. They have an esteemed guest coming into Jerry World.
They have a VIP ready to make his
return.
His return. So we'll get more into that. But see, people, any thoughts on this game?
Specifically, Myles Garrett. You, sir, have really cemented yourself as the front runner for Defensive Player of the Year this year. You are unblockable. Simply put, you have taken whatever torch Aaron Donald and some of the greatest pass rushers of all time have left burning and just picked it up and took it in full stride. Mm-hmm. So good on you. It
seems now like Myles Garrett's got to be triple teamed just for him to be stopped. But one of the best sound bites from this game was the tackle couldn't stop Myles Garrett, so he said, "Jordan, run!" And that's a great sound bite.
The best was the hot mic of Myles Garrett talking about it. He was like, yo, I hit him with the clean inside, and all of a sudden I heard it. How do you not laugh? But as a tackle, I understand, right? You just got shaken out of your shoes. You got untouched. This man is going free and clear for your quarterback that is back to this man. Can't touch him. Yeah, I'm screaming. Run for your life, dude, because he's about to get you. What else can you do?
Shout out to Myles Garrett, man. He's the man. He's just the man. Oh man. Let's move to Tampa. Let's move to Tampa, where we have the New York Jets putting up a good fight against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but the Bucs winning on a last-second field goal, winning 29-27. This is the third week in a row the Bucs have won from a comeback behind drive. Crazy.
Yeah, and at a serious cost, they go into next week without Mike Evans. He's out for the next couple weeks
Yeah.
with a hamstring injury. Got to tell you though, the Jets are probably the only 0-3 team that, in my opinion, they're playing better than their record shows. You know, this is another contending team that they just went 10 rounds with. You know, they just went 10 rounds with Tampa. Literally had the lead to the last play, but unfortunately, Baker Mayfield is just on a different level.
Baker
He
Mayfield,
is
potential MVP
he
candidate.
is correct. And again, they're Super Bowl favorites potentially, arguably.
Mhm.
Take that with a grain of salt. I think they are a better 0 they are 0-3 says.
Are they a better team with Justin Fields or with Tyrod? Because it seems like they played a lot better with Tyrod than with Fields.
I mean, who knows? Tyrod Taylor's been around the block a time or two. He knows how to play the game. He's been
Mm-hmm.
around. He's a veteran now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if he fits Aaron Glenn's vision better, Aaron Glenn's got to make that decision.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, they also got to remember they signed Justin Fields for 3 years. So he's going to have to see the field.
Yeah, at some point he's definitely going to be seeing that field.
So
I still say give him a shot. I say, like, whenever the time
absolutely.
comes that he's healthy enough to return, let him get his chance back. And let him show you enough time and enough reps and enough games that he's like, hey, you have a large sample size to make that decision because you have the most information from those games.
Right. You got to build the resume first.
Yeah.
You know, his report card is not enough to even make a decision from even his tenure throughout the league. It's not enough yet, in my opinion, for Justin Fields to make a justified decision. Because the plays that you see, it's like you always have to take into the account that he's gone through, what was it, like 7 coaches in 6 years. It's like leading now to being Aaron Glenn is his 7th coach.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild for the start of a career.
Yeah, it's tough for Fields. I feel for him, and I hope he does get a shot to really prove himself on the field because I think he definitely has earned that shot. But let's move to L.A., where the Denver Broncos took on the Los Angeles Chargers, and the Chargers 3 beating the Broncos Chargers, and Justin Herbert with swagger. This looks like a very dangerous team in the AFC.
Yeah, but again, at a price. Now they have to deal with the season-ending loss of Najee Harris,
That's right.
who has a brutal Achilles tear. Go figure. The first time he plays on a turf field as a home field, he tears his Achilles. Played on grass his entire life. Drafted by Pittsburgh, played on grass. Goes to SoFi Stadium, tears his Achilles.
On a non-contact injury either. He just planted and then that thing snapped, and heart
Right.
goes out to Najee, man. That was really tough to see.
It's hard to watch when you see athletes go down like that, especially when you almost know what the reason why these non-contact injuries are happening. Players are vocal about it, that there's no give on turf. None, it's your tendons are bound to rip. There's no give. I know last year we spoke about how the NFLPA agreed to changing the fields back to grass, but that's at the leisure and speed of the NFL. At the end of the day, of course. The agreement can be made, but it's if they're going to move as fast as they're clearly moving, they are not doing anything to change it. This is only going to reach their table, like you and I spoke about, when a cash cow goes down. Lamar, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Justin Herbert, Josh Allen, Jared Cook, a main Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley tears his Achilles, every field will be grass next year.
I don't think it would happen that quick. But also, too, it has to be, there's even a higher tier than that because think of how many times Herbert's been hurt. He has been hurt so many times throughout his career, and where he's never, aside from I think his rookie year, I don't think he's really played a full season because he's missed a couple games here and there, or he's had a season-ending injury so soon. I think it was a couple years ago he fucked up his elbow or something like that.
That's fair, right? He did.
And so it's like you and I spoke about it before. It's one thing where I understand the NFL's a business, but players' safety needs to be a high priority, and players' well-beings need to be at a high priority because these are the athletes that make the NFL and make it what it is today in not only the sport but as a part of our culture here in the United States. So it's player safety is something that needs to be addressed, and I know you have been very vocal about it over the last couple years about how dangerous fucking turf field is. And it's a shame that not everyone's necessarily aware of that. and what that does to a player's body. And this again, pull up from season 1 of us or season 2, and at some point we definitely brought up the field
And the
because
dangers of it and every aspect of it. Nothing good.
mhm,
Like, I'll say it, I know I've said this on this podcast before. Nothing good comes from playing on a turf field
yeah,
in any way, shape, or form. Temperature to what you're inhaling to what you're landing on to how you can move. Nothing good comes of it. Only reason why they use it is because it looks good on camera.
yep, and
It's
it's
the
cheap to
only
maintain.
reason. It's cheap to maintain. You don't have to pay. You don't have to pay anybody. You don't have to paint the field anymore. You can change it over. You can set it up for concerts easily. Whatever you want to do.
Yep.
It's very cost effective to have a turf field,
Hmm.
but it's
And
at the detriment of your employees.
exactly. And look, I mean, I don't want to spend too much time on it too, but just consider too how many new stadiums are being built for all these NFL teams. Next year we get a new Bills stadium, right? And how that's
Mm-hmm.
probably, these new stadiums are going to be billion-dollar investments, right? But for a fact they're investing in turf field because it's cheaper for the bottom line. And again, where it's like they can take out the field so that they can use that venue for other things, for concerts and shit like that. So they're trying to
Throwing
acclimate that.
halftime shows, right? Stadium
Yeah, and
tours.
so like I'm not sure you've probably seen the video of it of like with the Raiders stadium where they literally just slide that shit right out. Just
It's
fucking it's crazy.
fucking weird.
But
It's weird.
it looks pretty, but at the end of the day it is not good for the players. And the players know that. So I'm sure we'll get more more into that as the season
Yeah,
goes on.
because I'm sure there will be more Achilles tears and ACL rips, unfortunately.
Yeah, and that's
And just
such a
keep an eye
shame.
on what stadiums it happens at,
Yep.
because the turf monster is real.
MetLife.
MetLife claims
MetLife takes
people.
souls. It's
That
disgusting,
claims that place claims the best.
bro. I won't go too much into it because again we'll get more into that. But man, it's just brutal, absolutely fucking brutal. Oh man, let's move to Seattle, where the New Orleans Saints took on the Seattle Seahawks, and the Seattle Seahawks had a dominating performance, 44-13. Kev, I'm sorry, man, it ain't looking too good for you, Saints.
The Saints look lost. They look absolutely lost. But again, Sam Darnold can play. He can play,
You can play.
and he looks good in the Seahawks uniform.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see what are the heights of this Seattle team can be. Because me personally, I didn't really have many high expectations for this team, but honestly, it looks like they can contend for their division. That division doesn't seem like it's either the Niners, Rams, or Cardinals for anyone's guaranteed to have it. It looks very open, and Seattle is a prime contender for it.
It's fun, very fun in Seattle right now.
Let's move to Chicago, where we had the Dallas Cowboys losing to the Chicago Bears 31-14. Caleb Williams, 4 touchdowns on the day, and Dallas just looked manhandled. Uh, was this a good game by the Bears or a bad game by Dallas?
Both. It was both. Caleb Williams showed me something.
Mm-hmm.
He has a very strong arm.
He throws it on a rope.
When he can set his feet, dude has a gun.
Mm-hmm.
So I will give him that. He can throw the long ball great. But it still concerns me how long he holds the ball for. It seemed like this was the first time that you saw Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams on the same page.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I want to see this for another week. Like, they finally got something and it clicked right throughout the week. Let's see if you can build off of that. Clearly there was a coachable moment between them two that happened. Let's see if another one arises and it's met with conflict or if it's met with growth. I want to see Caleb Williams succeed. I want to see the Bears succeed, and that was a good watch to watch.
Absolutely.
But Dallas, man, I think we can all really positively say without Michael Parsons on that defense, that is atrocious. That is god awful defense.
Mm-hmm.
Just coming from the defense that Pittsburgh is, that's a god awful defense.
Teams just have their way on Dallas, and it's crazy because again the absence of Micah Parsons is really felt. Because to Brian Schottenheimer's credit, right, the new head coach of Dallas, he practiced with Micah throughout the whole offseason. I had game plans around him. Only for a week before the season, Jerry to trade him. And so, of course, your whole defensive scheme is going to be out of whack because not only do you have the personnel that you don't have, like the personnel that you need, you don't have the proper schemes to coordinate against any offense, which is tough for any defense to kind of get on the same page. Where it's like, fuck, like what do we do, man? We just stop them on the ground, we stop them on the air, and it looks like Chicago was like, well, we're gonna do both. We're gonna run on you with DeAndre Swift, who's still an underrated fucking running back, and we're just gonna pass for 4 touchdowns and call it a day. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Who knows? Maybe Chicago can turn into a place where Caleb Williams can succeed.
Maybe.
I would like to see it.
I'd like to see it too, and there's still a lot of season left, so I'm interested to see where Chicago ends up by the end of the year. Let's move to San Francisco, where we have the 49ers squeaking away a win over the Arizona Cardinals, 16-15. Mac Jones, other win in the in for the 49ers, and 49ers 3-0 to start the year.
Yeah, but I think the big question in Arizona is, where is Marvin Harrison Jr.? Where is he? In the last 3 games, he's had 2 receptions a game.
Did you see that huge drop he had in the second quarter
Yes,
of this game?
I did, but it's like you still got to give him the reps. Even though I understand key drops are key drops,
Mm-hmm.
you cannot move away, in my opinion, from a talent like that. From one big drop, I understand.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. You guys are all building, and you just lost James Conner to a broken foot, so you can't isolate yourself away from people who have the talent to help because of a mistake, especially when you're dropping key players like James Conner, who is, I'm pretty sure he's out for the year now. So they
Yeah,
got to get it together in Arizona.
yeah, they really do, and it's again like I was saying before with Seattle, it's still anyone's division in the NFC West. So just right now, it's heading into week 4. Cardinals, you just gotta again string together some wins. But in that time, it's important to develop that rhythm, as you were saying before. Like, just get on the same page. Make sure everyone understands their assignments and their responsibilities, and so that they can just perform that at the highest level. But we'll definitely have to keep an eye on Arizona going forward. Let's move to Sunday's primetime game between the Kansas City Chiefs and the New York Giants, and the Chiefs getting their first win over the Giants, 22-9. But this seemed to be Russell Wilson's last starting gig as a New York Giant. Going forward, the Giants will be going with Jackson Dart at their starting quarterback.
Yes, sir. The Jackson Dart era has begun, and I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
What are the chances that was Russell Wilson's last game?
I don't think likely. I
Do you
think
think he'll
that
be signed by another team
at least one more year, yeah. I think because there's teams desperate enough to do it
for 1 year or for the rest of this season?
for either.
You think he'll stay for one more?
I think he'll stay for one more season. It's possible. I mean, it's possible that this could have been Russell Wilson's last game, but I know Russell Wilson wants to compete and he wants to play football. And I think that so long as he's willing to put up the pads, I think a team will be willing to at least give him a spot on a bench. And then if you sit on a bench long enough, you're probably going to see play.
That's fair. That's fair. Unfortunately, I think we saw his last game as a professional quarterback.
It's crazy because the week before he had a fucking career game against Dallas.
And I said about him 2 weeks. I was a week ahead. I gave him a week too many.
Yep. Dayball said, fuck that. We are doing it live.
Yeah, but set him up to fail going into this week. Needless to say, going up against that San Diego defense. Sorry, LA.
LA. I know what you meant.
But set him up for total failure. But shout out Cam Scatterbo for being an actual caveman.
What'd you say before?
My man, he eats rocks for fun. My man eats rocks for fun, and then he breaks cinder blocks with his chin. He's proving himself to be the most physical person on the field every time he steps onto it, and it's great. Please just control it. Just dial it back like half a notch and just control it a little bit, and you'll be able to go multiple more years in your career.
Bro, he's eating rocks for fun. He's not listening to a word you're saying. He's got to run through a motherfucking face. That's what he's got to do.
He's about to headbutt a wall stud.
His running style, he took a page out of the Marshawn Lynch School Academy of Running, but instead of using his hands to block defenders, he's using his head. And it
sounds like Mike Alstott and Peyton Hillis all over again.
Yep. So Scatterbo and Dart, we'll have to see.
It'll be an interesting combo.
Giants. I mean, look, I admire the faith that all New York Giants fans have in Jackson Dart. But I think you and I, being not Giants fans, allows us to ask the better question: is like, yeah, he's starting, but do you really want him behind that Giants offensive line that
Mm.
struggled the first 3 weeks of the season against these great teams? Right now, the Chargers are one of the best teams in the AFC currently through the first 3 weeks. And you want Jackson Dart to start up against them? I mean, hats off, trial by fire. I get all that. But there is something to be said where it's like quarterbacks and some of the great quarterbacks, sometimes sitting could be better, could be good for them. Patrick Mahomes sat his first year. Lamar sat his first 8 games of his rookie year, right? Brady, his first game of the year. So there's something to be said about it, and I think the Giants may be pushing the button a little too soon. But we'll have to keep an eye on the Giants because it seems that things are going to be a little interesting in New York.
Before we move on, I want to piggyback off of what you said about it. Sometimes it could be beneficial about
Mm-hmm.
sitting for a year.
Well,
I
not
saw
for a year, but just for some time.
I saw something the other day and it made my jaw hit the floor. It has recently come out that both the Eagles and the Baltimore Ravens reached out to Shador Sanders to draft him, potentially. He said he was not interested because he did not want to sit and be a long term backup. So now he is the fourth string quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. And Deion Sanders came in to make a comment and say, no one ever learned anything on the bench. I'm sorry, who'd you say on Kansas City? What's his name? He sat for a couple of years. What's his name?
Mahomes sat his first year.
Right. He sat for Alex Smith. Tom Brady sat for Matt Castle. Russell Wilson
Brady sat
sat
for Bledsoe,
Drew Bledsoe. I'm sorry.
and Lamar sat behind Flacco
Joe
for a
Flacco.
little while. I believe
Right.
Roethlisberger sat his first couple games.
No, he
No,
started his rookie
he
year.
started. No, Manning sat behind Kurt Warner.
Manning sat behind Kurt Warner.
Mm-hmm.
So they never learned nothing. Aaron Rodgers sat behind Brett Favre.
Mm-hmm. Jordan Love sat behind Aaron Rodgers.
Right. Green Bay just knows how to draft quarterbacks, apparently. They're fucking 3 for 3 on franchise quarterbacks. It's crazy.
Crazy.
It's nutty. Let's just hope he doesn't turn into a sour veteran that doesn't talk to receivers.
We shall see. He's got to win a Super Bowl at the age of 27, like Favre and Rodgers.
Isn't this year his 27th birthday? The script, right? The script.
Well, I really like that we're going to be talking Packers this week, so I'm excited for that. But before we get into that, we have one final game of Week 3, and that was the Detroit Lions beating the Baltimore Ravens 38-30. I will start by saying I have been very wrong multiple times, and I was very wrong about this game. Lions earned every bit of that win, but man, I was telling you and I was telling everyone, I've never seen a game like this from the Ravens before. Allowing 7 sacks on Lamar I've never seen that. For the Lions to outrush us, to get 224 rushing yards in Baltimore, that was a statement. Not just to the Ravens, but just to like
The
the league,
league.
where it's like, oh no, like we are those Lions. And after that last week, man, I don't doubt the Ravens' offensive capabilities, but man, our defense, much like you were talking about with the Steelers' defense, it is not looking good for the Ravens' defense. Teams are having their way against us, and it is not looking good. So again, the Cleveland Browns have the best defense in the AFC North in the league, but in the AFC North, it's a wide margin between the Steelers, the Ravens, and the Bengals and the Browns. Like
God, it's pathetic.
it is night and day, and it is very interesting to see how the AFC North shapes up. But good on the Lions. Lions moved to 2-1, and along with the Packers, who are also 2-1.
Yeah, Ravens off to another slow start this year. This is almost a little true to form. You guys usually turn it around this margin.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have a bye week coming up in 2 weeks. So you have a get right game and then your bye week, and then you can go off to the races from there.
That was week
Or 2
8
games.
that we have it.
I thought it was earlier than that. I thought it was week 6 or something, but I could be wrong.
I could be wrong as well.
But either way, like, this is usually around the turning point where something goes horribly wrong, and then you guys usually turn it around from there. Derrick Henry, first time ever where he's had 3 straight games with a fumble in it, ever in his career playing football.
Mm-hmm.
That's, he needs to shake that. One of the all-time crash outs happened, and his name is now on it. And even Lamar Jackson, his kryptonite came around again, where his frustrations are getting the better of him. That happened both at the same time. They got stopped. I think at one point I watched them, they got stopped 4 times on the goal line by the Detroit defense.
We did.
It
I
was pretty
know
early in the
it
game.
was early. We did have to settle for a field goal. I know Lamar. He definitely got emotional, but I mean, despite that, he's been playing very well. And
No, no,
despite,
I'm not saying he
yeah,
hasn't been playing well. It's just when his frustrations get the better of him
hmm
is when things start to unravel for the team.
hmm
He gets frustrated, so everybody gets frustrated, and everyone starts playing frustrated.
hmm
And that's when, unfortunately, that's when sloppiness happens. And, that's when things that shouldn't happen happen.
hmm self-inflicted wounds. It's been a very prevalent theme throughout Ravens culture, especially in
And
recent
Steelers
years.
culture, don't worry, it's
So
with us too.
it's been a very cyclical game of pain and pleasure between watching the Ravens, and it's been tough. I do, before we move on to the games that we wanted to talk about. Last thing I'll say about this game is I gotta call out Marlon Humphrey, man. Like the Lions targeted him a lot that game, and they really got the better of him that game. And so our secondary, man, especially Marlon, you're at the top, man. That's some of those plays, man. Just a little bit more awareness, and it changes the whole game. So I hope for the Ravens' sake they can turn it around, but we do play Kansas City next week, so that's not going to be necessarily an easy one for us. And more so probably if we can overcome mental errors, but we'll see.
Yeah, if you guys can not beat yourselves and play down to the level of the Chiefs, it should be no problems. But if always got to remember the switch that the fucking Chiefs can turn up, they can always flip it at any point and just become the Chiefs that they were.
No,
They
no.
haven't shown it. But again, that no, they can't. I know. I tried. I tried
Yeah, they can.
because they still have that big storm cloud looming over their head that they can't fucking score 30 points.
The only time they did that
They
last year was the
fucking
AFC title game. That was it.
they can't fucking score 30 points, dude.
So if
It's
the Ravens score
wild.
30, I feel confident. But if the Chiefs somehow score 30 on the Ravens defense, what the fuck?
If the fucking Chiefs score 30 on your defense, fire your defensive coordinator.
And if we lose that and go 1-3,
Fire every fucking buddy.
oh no, I wouldn't go that. But
Fucking fires up.
Lucy, you got some splaining to do.
Everyone's got some explaining to do there.
Yeah, everyone's got to answer for their fucking sins and shit. Oh shit. So that is our week one. Oh, sorry, week three recap, not week one. But let's move on to some games in week four that we wanted to talk about. And I'll start with the game that you wanted to talk about first, and that was the Eagles and the Bucs. A great game for that could probably determine tiebreakers later on in the playoffs. But CP, I'll give the floor to you, my friend. What about this game interests you?
This is two of the powerhouses of the NFC coming to meet each other. Now, like I said in the recap, the Bucs are not going in 100%. Mike Evans is out. He will be missing I think he's out for the next 3 weeks. The next couple games they're going to be without him. But Baker Mayfield is no rookie to adversity. He went weeks without Mike Evans last year. He's gone weeks without Mike Evans, and they still that duo is not going to be broken by a couple of years. So when he comes back, they'll be off to the races. Tampa is stacked when it comes to talent. Middle of the road talent who just want to work and they're gritty. But then you, like we were saying, with that Eagles offense, that core, that undefeated core in Philly, that's the important part about this game is that you have the grit and you have perfection. They've been playing perfect football together, going up against the team that doesn't do everything perfect, but they fight
Mm-hmm.
and they do everything together. And like you said, this has potential tiebreaker stipulations going into because this absolutely has round 2 in January vibes all over it.
Absolutely. It's. I just want to ask you one thing real quick. What do you think of this rookie that the Bucks have, Emeka Abuka? I'm probably butchering his name, but this Abukum guy, he is making stellar plays for Baker Mayfield, and their passing game does not miss a beat, even with the absence of Mike Evans, like you were saying before. But
That's their rookie fly guy, or is that like the one on the inside?
he's both. He's been both.
Oh, he does. Okay,
He's
he's
the
been
one that's
moving
been
in
doing
and out.
everything. Yeah. Eguba, whatever the fuck his name is. I, I can't pronounce it. It's so
Something
tough.
like that. I gotta take a closer look at him.
We got to give him a
But
nickname.
what we're gonna try and get his name down is what's gonna
We'll get it. We'll get his name, but we gotta. I mean, Fly Guy
we'll
so
figure
far.
something
He's
out. Fly guy. We're gonna call him Fly Guy for now. The Fly Guy rookie. But no, I like it's again, Baker Mayfield is very easy to bring people in and join in on the message he sends for a team. So it does not surprise me at all that a young rookie is succeeding with Baker Mayfield throwing to him.
Mhm.
You know, of course, you got to have the hands and you got to reciprocate the effort that he's putting in for you. I did, however, see the clip when he did like a one-handed over the shoulder
Yep.
that Baker threw to him. Baker walked up to him. He was like, "Don't you disrespect my passes? You catch with two hands here, rookie." So I think that's cool. Like, that's how you can see that there's a bonds forming with everybody. That's
Mhm.
what I love to see in a teammate. So again, it does not surprise me at all that this young rookie is starting to make waves already, with Baker Mayfield being the teammate that he is throwing to him.
And it's so crazy too, just how we think of Baker Mayfield now. When not too long ago, it wasn't that the Carolina Panthers had him as a scout offensive linebacker, taking defensive snaps, and now he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league, possibly for MVP contention, and even without his number one wide receiver. And he's still going to make plays. But it's not just him, too. But that offense is great, where they have a great running game with Bucky Irving and Rashad White. That is a two-headed Hydra that, baby, is probably second best in the NFC behind fucking Detroit's fucking two-headed Hydra of Gibbs and Money Monty. But that tandem, along with that expert passing game in Baker Mayfield, it's a great balance, and it's what made the Bucs so good and so dangerous right now, because offensively they can do it all. Defensively, they're bend but don't break. And man, gotta give a big shout out to Vita Vea, man. He is on a whole nother level this year of just clogging up that fucking middle of the lane and just being what a big man does best. And it's like, I'm gonna be a stonewall. And with that guaranteed, it's like, well, then you force their whole offense around this man, so and start running outside the numbers. But it's big shout out to Vita Vea on defense. But one thing that makes the Bucs so dangerous is they are resilient, and their last 3 wins have come from, you're down and you have to have a game-winning drive. And we saw that in week 1, where Baker, got the field goal, or got them in field goal range. They got the field goal, and Falcons missed the kick to tie it, to send it to overtime. Week 2 against the Texans, he has that amazing drive and that run for 20 yards when this man was nearly sacked, keep the drive alive, and then get them the touchdown. And the touchdown was a rushing touchdown. It wasn't even a passing touchdown, because score by any means necessary. And by, on the goal line, give it to Rashad White. He's he's that good. And then this past week against the Jets, where the Jets had a surprising offensive stance, and really, again, it was the Bucs early on. The Jets put up some fight. And as we've seen so far in this league, just because you have a lead doesn't necessarily mean it's safe. I digress. But all were great, resilient wins. And it was actually September 29th, 2024, the last time these two teams played each other. It was last year, almost to the day. Bucs won 33-19. And that was before Philly, like, it really clicked for Philadelphia. And then they went on their whole tear and then just kept winning, and that haven't stopped winning since. I think for Philly, again, that core, like you alluded to earlier, it's so nasty for the Eagles to have not only a solid core on offense, but also on defense as well, where you have Jordan Davis, Jalen
Jordan
Carter,
Davis, Jalen
Cooper
Carter,
DeJean
Cooper DeJean. I think is Witherspoon on the other side.
with a spoon.
His last name is Witherspoon.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have
Barnett.
5 on offense and Barnett. So you have 5 on both sides.
Zach Bond.
Right.
And
So
Brandon Graham,
again,
because he's still there.
and Brandon Graham, because why the fuck not? Just sprinkle that shit right in.
Bro, Brandon Graham might be one of my favorite fucking players ever. Like, he is just, but quietly, a fucking cornerstone to a whole franchise. Just quietly, like, having a Hall of Fame career. And he's not the first star we think of when it comes to the Eagles, because there's just such a deep, talent-rich roster. And I'm so glad that last week we talked about the Eagles and said that, look, they can put up, like, these gaudy passing numbers. And if they put up 30, so be it. They put up 27 offensively. And then they got the blocked field goal for the touchdown to score 30. But Jalen Hurts, 3 touchdowns. I think he really shut up any critics of
I
him.
fucking hope so.
And how many times, like, what more does this man need to do? They are down to a contending team in the NFC in the Rams, and the Rams are great, and they will probably be in the playoffs. And for the Eagles to be resilient and to come back against them just shows that, look, this team has that second gear that not a lot of other teams have. And that's what makes Philly so dangerous, where it's like, even at their half-assing, right, they're still so dangerous, right?
There's a lot of teams in this league when it comes to Philadelphia that at their worst, teams at their best still can't hold a candle to them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the truth. Tampa is another one of those teams where even when they are at their worst, there's a lot of teams who cannot hold a candle to them at their best. These two teams going up against each other, they both need to be at their best, regardless of who's on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you alluded to it a little bit before Philly got off to the races. They stumbled for a while. Let's not forget that.
They did.
They stumbled. They picked up their feet, and they now have a head of momentum. But again, like you said, when they crash into Tampa, they are in for a ride. And now, shout out to Tampa for, I don't know, do you remember Desmond Watson?
Oh my God, the 400-pound guy?
The 464-pound nose tackle that they signed as an undrafted free agent. They cut
Yeah.
him. They cut him. He was 464 pounds. He was 430 pounds when he got cut.
Okay.
He is now 409 pounds and has re-signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ.
The head
409
coach of
pounds.
he as of right now, he is still not on the roster.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's not on the starting roster. But they like the trajectory that he is going in terms of weight loss. My man, he is 6'8", 409 pounds right now. I watched him play at 464. Him playing at 464 should not be possible. So you have to take that into consideration at the type of athlete that this young man is. The fact that he's able to play football at a professional level at damn near 500 pounds is a marvel.
Well, now we'll be at 400 pounds because he had to lose that
If
weight.
That's what I'm saying. If he can get down to, let's say, I know this is still sounding like a lot, like 390, 385, he would still be the heaviest to ever do it
Mm-hmm.
by probably about 40 or 50 pounds. Thank you, Vince Wilfork.
I don't know. Nate
But
Newton was probably pushing for.
I think he was closer to 400 pounds too. You're right. But if he could get down under 400 pounds, from the way he could play at 464, if he could play at under 400 pounds, he would be an absolutely unstoppable force in this league.
And
So
you know
I'm
who-
rooting for Desmond Watson right now.
And to your point, you know who he'd be paired up next to in Tampa
Vita
Bay?
Vea. Vita Vea in a 43. Could you imagine them in a 4-3 defense with them two?
That'd be the Great Wall of Tampa. It'd be just the Great Wall of Tampa.
You can't put enough bodies on them two. You wouldn't be able to put enough bodies on them.
You could theoretically change defenses and just run a 2-man rush the whole fucking time.
Yeah, just call it. You literally just throw it into a 2-man nickel set and just let them go to work.
Just let them go at it. You go the dime and just be like, yeah, you know what? Let's just have one, and then one will just be.
It's almost ironic. They re-signed him when they're going to play Philly. They're gonna be like, "Watch, this is why we fucking signed you. We want
my
you to
God.
stop this.
to clog the tush push.
Yes, we want you to stop this."
Also, just came across my mind as well. There was another instance in this Philly Rams game where they did offsides. There was a non-called offsides, or not. Sorry, false start on the tush push.
On a tush
that-
push.
It second week in a row that a false start should have been called on a tush push play, and that was
Did it
again
happen
at
late in the
goal line.
game? It was late in the game too.
I think that was early at first touchdown.
Goal line nonetheless, but that's wild. It's again, if you're gonna allow a play to be again, I'm not for the banning of the QB sneak or the silent cadence, because once you get rid of a silent cadence, you get rid of claps, you get rid of being able to trick the defense.
Mhm.
I understand that there's an overwhelming amount of cards that the offense can now play against a defense. So maybe instead of banning shit in the offense's hand, put shit back in the defense's hands. You got to refill the defense stack.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I understand you just banned the hip drop tackle. Maybe you loosen the rope on the defenseless receiver thing. I understand you're going for overall player safety, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hip drop tackle. You still got to be able to wrap up at the end of the day. I understand you can't slide and serpentine your body around the person's legs. You really shouldn't have ever been able to do that. Cutback blocks, I understand. But I remember at one point they went from 2 to like 5 strides forward for the wide receiver. Bring it back down to 2. See what happens. Bring it back down to 2.
I'm not opposed to that. I think
You got to do something to even the weight
mm-hmm.
of the advantage, the clear cut advantage that the offenses have
Mm-hmm.
going every week. That's why it's becoming an offensively driven game. It's not because defenses are worse, it's because they can do less. They can't do as much anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's turning into almost basketball style defense while they're still playing full contact football.
Mm-hmm.
So that's you gotta weigh. You gotta even it out.
Yeah, it's really tough because with the tush push, right? Again, the Eagles are the only team that can do it, and it's not because like they can do it with different centers. We saw it with Jason Kelsey, we see it with Cam Jurgens. The reason they can do it better than any other team is because of Jalen Hurts, because he could squat, what was it, 600 pounds, and just like keep
Yeah,
his
he's a power lifter.
yeah. So like his entire lower body has so much strength that it's like, of course he can just get a yard if someone pushes him forward. And that's what they've been doing the last couple of years. I personally don't mind the tush push, and I don't think that it should be banned. I think, again, being that any team can do it, right? If we see every team doing it, and then I think that Goodell is going to put a squash to it immediately. But Goodell already doesn't like the play, and he said that out loud and in articles and shit like that. He has been on the record like he does not like the tush push. 22 of the NFL teams tried to were in favor of banning the tush push. It was only 10 teams that didn't. And it's one of those things where if they are to ban it, how you word it matters, because what that can do is that it could either restrict some other things on the offensive side or it restricts more of defensive capabilities, right? And again, on the defensive side of the ball, you're actually not allowed to push your own teammates into one another. Maybe
Right, they
to your
got rid of
point,
that in the field goal rule.
maybe just take that out. Just be like, okay, look, we're just gonna have it's gonna be mosh pits in the middle of these fucking
It
football.
turns into it turns.
Yeah, and again, I'm not opposed for that. I think there's a certain element of toughness that needs to be exuded in football, and it's a game of will. It's forcing your will upon another team, another player, and I think for Philly, it's a good thing that last week, despite them, getting the touchdown, despite the not called false start, it still goes to show that it's like even that play, it's like they were still able to make the comeback and win the game decidedly. And so I think that Philly is like, look, they have shown that yes, are they the masters of this play? Yes. But are they dependent on it? I would argue no. I don't think so.
Absolutely not.
They are a team where it's like, look, with that core four, who do you stop? You stop AJ Brown, Devonta Smith. He's an amazing Heisman-winning wide receiver. By the way, like he put the dagger in the Super Bowl last year. You have Saquon Barkley. Okay, good luck trying to stop Saquon. By the way, if you try to stop Saquon, AJ Brown and Devonta Smith are open. So
Oh,
it's
by the way, Jalen Hurts can run.
yeah, who already has 4 rushing touchdowns this year. So
Is Dallas Goddard still the tight
yes.
end there? By the way, they have Dallas Goddard.
Mm-hmm.
So get fucked.
The talent is deep in Philadelphia. And that's why it's so fun to be a Phillies fan at the moment, where it's like the Super Bowl in the context of football. The Super Bowl validates greatness, because we know that, these are great teams and great organizations with great players, but a Super Bowl gives everyone that credit of like they did it, they proved it, right? And how many Super Bowls is it going to be for Jalen Hurts to win it, for him to just silence all the doubters? And
I don't know what it's gonna take, man.
I think that even if you take Jalen Hurts out of Philadelphia, despite them being a rich talent, they would not be as successful without Jalen Hurts.
Absolutely not. It's what he brings to the locker room.
Exactly. He is stoic, and sometimes that could be to a fault, but he is stoic, he is determined, he is smart, he is capable, and he's proved it. And so he goes up against another contending team in Tampa Bay who an organization that won it recently, but not obviously not with Baker, but they have Super Bowl DNA within this organization, and it's going to be such a juggernaut. And I hope that this is a first of two, because these two teams so far look like not only the most talent depth between both of these two teams, but stars on every side of the field, and two all-star quarterbacks going at it with playoff implications on the line.
And
Man,
these are the two most slept on quarterbacks in the new generation. Let's be real. Let's be honest for a
they have
second now.
proven, both of them have proven that they belong.
To us,
Yeah.
we fucking called Jalen Hurts out of college, said that boy can play. We saw 2 seasons of Baker Mayfield in Cleveland. We were like, that dude can play. He can fucking play, but he shouldn't be where he's at.
Yep. It's like he'd be great anywhere else.
And here we are. Here we are, 5 years later, for the both of them. They are still hearing from the same bullshit doubters. Fucking Baker Mayfield silenced Colin Cowherd and made him eat his fucking words. What is it going to take for the both of them? What more do either of them have to do? Baker Mayfield, has he got to win an MVP for y'all to shut your fucking mouths? Does he got to throw for 5,000 yards for you to shut your fucking mouths? Because he was 400 yards away from that last year.
He could. He very well could.
But it's you. If that's what's necessary, look last year and look at the fucking stats he put up and tell me that was an MVP conversation. And then shut your fucking mouth.
You actually compare his stats to Josh Allen. You could definitely make an argue that Baker could have won it over Josh Allen last year, just statistically.
Correct.
But again, it's like value of the team, right? Like who, and that means different things for different people, especially for the MVP voters. But to your point, man, it's like, look, he's right there. Like if we've said before, like after the Super Bowl, if there's a top 4, it's Mahomes at the top, right? Josh, Lamar, however you want to add that or stack that, and then Joe Burrow, who could fall out of this big 4 this year.
I would
just
say
by
he's
not
out.
being there. He's out. Put Jalen Hurts in there because he's part of that big 4.
Correct.
And then put 5. That's Baker Mayfield.
I would call me bold for this. I think I would take Patrick Mahomes out this season. He's not playing well.
He's
not playing well.
He's not playing well, but neither's the whole team. And I could understand that too. And I would
take Patrick Mahomes out and swap it with Baker Mayfield.
You want to say the big 4 of this season? Yeah, sure. Then you.
But even going from
in that discussion too.
But even from the end of last year to this year, I understand Kansas City got there, but they were limping in. Fucking wheels were falling off during the season last year. They couldn't score 30 all fucking year. Mm-hmm. That cloud's still here. I think I'm taking Patrick Mahomes out and replacing it with Baker Mayfield.
That's pretty bold.
At the top of the hill.
At the top?
At the top of the hill right now? I think so.
Better than Lamar and Allen this year?
They're all standing there right now. I think they kind of just booted Mahomes away and made room for fucking Baker Mayfield.
Oh my God.
They're like, enough of you.
Me, I still consider Mahomes still a top quarterback because, again, validation of greatness, right? He's won those 3 Super Bowls. He's won 2 MVPs. He's won the AFC West for what, 9 consecutive years. And
I'm not taking away legacy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not taking away legacy and accolades. I'm talking just the way you have regressed throughout the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Over the years, you've lost the ability to put up 30 points.
Mm-hmm.
You got blown out in the Super Bowl.
Twice.
And now you still can't put 30 points on the board. And now you're older. You're worse for wear. Your fucking prime star is on his last year. Chris Jones is almost gone. The Kansas City era is gone as we know it.
Their season still has a heartbeat to it. They're 1-2 at the moment. And despite, again, it's just week 4. There's a lot that can happen there. And I'm not disagreeing with anything that you're saying either. Again, Patrick Mahomes has not been playing well, and the Chiefs do look like a shell of the team that they were last year. And last year they were a shell of the team the year before. And so
they're like the Russian dolls.
Yeah. And so at a certain point, everyone's going to start to leave and shit like that. But it's hard to me to put them out of contention until I see that they're mathematically eliminated. But until then, it's like the Patriots, right? It's like unless Tom Brady is mathematically eliminated, by whatever fucking means. It's like you can't count them out. And I still give that at least the benefit of the doubt, especially going against them this week in Arrowhead. That's going to be tough. But I want to. But getting back to your original point of putting Baker Mayfield over Patrick Mahomes, he's just been the better quarterback the last couple of years, and that's just a simple fact. And what better way to showcase it against going up against the best in the Eagles?
Right. And if you walk away with another, let's say you lay a beating down on Philly, hand that chorus first L, and it's a beating. What's that say then?
Then I'd feel real confident in my NFC Super Bowl pick.
That's fair,
I
but
think
that is a message to the rest of the league.
100%. And I think this game is going to be determined by who gets the ball last. Just whoever gets the ball last, that's who's going to.
But you can't count out those stars on both sides of those defenses to make a play.
You can't. So whoever
It's
has.
hard to make this game.
I know.
It's hard to make this game because it's going to turn into mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's going to turn into nitpicking mistakes. Who had more mistakes? Who did this? Who did that? It's really going to be a nitpicking game as to why someone won.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to come down to a shitty penalty or something that doesn't get called. And, and if everyone's going to say it the same way, if it ends on a fucking tush push that doesn't get an offsides call, the fucking world's going to explode. The world's going to explode. They're going to be so angry that this is how it is, and it's going to be another uprising on trying to get this player banned and everything. It's just going to get more and more escalated as time goes on. The more false starts that don't get called on this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking more on the Drew Brees side, where it's like I respect your input, like you're inputting this play into your playbook, you're winning games. My God, it's fucking boring. It's fucking boring. Watching you guys go, I understand the silent cadences. Fucking the QB sneak is such a boring play to me. It always has been. You move 6 inches.
It's very predictable. That's what makes it boring, is that it's very predictable, and what makes it exciting is when it's not. And it's like, oh shit, did he not get there?
Right. But when you know it's coming on 4th and short, but you can't stop it. It's like, okay, here you go. There you go. Maybe just move the chains.
I think that, look, what the Rams did was a good strategy of like, look, we're going to go up enough points so that they're going to just have to air it out, and they can't really run it. And look, if the Bucs take a lead on Philly, at that point, tush push is moot. You got to start airing it out. So you can't be like going tic-tac down the field for short yardage when you're down, say, 15, right? With a quarter left.
Well, yeah.
You're not doing yourself any favors at that point. And maybe in the context of the game, it's a little different. But look, Philly and Tampa, for the last couple recent years, they've been fun matchups. And they've been very significant to one another, too. And I think I've talked about this before, where it's like, look, Philly, Jalen Hurts' first playoff game was against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And he lost that game. Jason Kelsey's last game in his career was that wild card loss to the Buccaneers. It's last year, the Bucs beat the Philadelphia Eagles, who went on to become Super Bowl champions. So Tampa knows how to play against Philly, but man, this is going to be a great matchup. Two of the best teams going at it. This could be game of the week. It really could. And it's at
this could turn out to be a game of the year. It's a 1:00 game. Yeah, it's a matinee game.
Crazy. But CP, any final thoughts on this game?
No, just keep an eye out for fireworks. This game is going to be exciting for 3 hours.
100%. But CP, there's another game that we wanted to talk about, and this again, Sunday night on your birthday, the Green Bay Packers and the Dallas Cowboys, and Micah Parsons coming home to Jerry World. I'll let you start us off, my friend.
I mean, revenge game isn't really the word right now, right? Because Micah didn't want to leave. He didn't want to leave. He was adamant about continuing to be a Dallas Cowboy. He wanted to invest. So he has a lot of love for the city. He has a lot of love for the franchise. So in what world, you said you understand it, maybe you can help me to understand it, that Jerry Jones is not going to do any form of like, welcome back, Micah, like before the game, like nothing, no shout out, no nothing.
Mm-hmm.
This man reset your culture on defense.
Mm-hmm.
Reset your culture on defense. He went to 4 Pro Bowls. He was 3-time All-Pro, first team I think it was like 2-time first team All Defense. Like he put in some work on your defense, and you're just nothing. You think it's not going to use that?
What do you mean? He's not going to, like...
You think Micah Parsons isn't going to mentally use that?
Oh, he's absolutely going to use that.
Like y'all just
He
snub me like that.
he's gonna use that. I think again, it's the not paying tribute to him, right? Like that's
Yes.
I think I can understand it from Jerry Jones's perspective. Maybe not so much from Jerry Jones's whole perspective, but again, he's driven by ego, right? And it's like it's either you're a Dallas Cowboy or not. And right now you're not. So I'm not going to treat you like a Dallas Cowboy. And so because Jerry, he loves his homegrown boys. He loves homegrown Cowboys, right? But Micah Parsons, as a homegrown Cowboy, said, Jerry, I want to stay a Cowboy. I just need you to give me this contract that you and I both want. And Jerry's like, well, we had a handshake deal, but Jerry, that's not a contract. A handshake is a handshake. It's not a deal necessarily. Like you got to get agents
Right.
involved. It's more complex than just a handshake. But Jerry Jones took it as like we said that he was good. I don't know why he keeps asking me about it. He keeps asking me about it. Go out of here. Go to Green Bay. See what I care. And so for like Green Bay, it's like, look, in Dallas, it's very black and white. You're either a cowboy or you're not. And if you're not a cowboy, you're not going to get treated like a cowboy in Jerry's world. So, in that regard, I can understand why they're not doing a tribute. But to your point, too, where he has brought a contending edge to the Cowboys under Mike McCarthy, where they were consistently winning 12 games, he was a big factor in that. And we were talking about it, too, at the time where Dallas's defense was really fucking good.
Well, it was him and Leighton Vander Esch that were leading the pack,
Him,
but then
Leighton
Leighton
Vander Esch,
Vander Esch went
Demarcus Lawrence, like,
right the end of DeMarcus Lawrence's career. Leighton Vander Esch before he fucking fell into neck injuries,
mm-hmm.
and then it was just Micah Parsons, Trayvon Diggs in the early set before he fucking went into pedestrian. You know,
He had that one
so
year. That
now
was it.
he had one good year, and then he had one good stretch of games. It wasn't even a full year.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a stretch of 3 games where he had a couple of interceptions.
I think he had like 9 that year, if I'm not mistaken. Or no,
Right.
no, I think he had 7. Yeah,
Yeah, and I think he got like 5 out of the 7 in a course of like 3 games.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he went off for like 3 games, and then it was like
Mm-hmm.
from there. And Micah Parsons continued to be who he was, which is one of the most versatile defensemen in this league. You know, you could still be he's still that guy where he can get put at any position on that front seven and be okay. There's not many people in this league who you can say that to comfortably. And you just decided to give him up.
Yeah.
To the team that fucking bust your ass last year in the playoffs. For an aged Kenny Clark who has been absent since the start of the year. Go figure. Go figure, Jerry.
It's Jerry's world. We're just living in it. It's so upsetting for Cowboys fans for, again, you invested so much of your faith in the team because of Micah Parsons. Because it's like, look, if Dak's got, look, you're going to have to trust Dak, right? And to Dak's credit, he's been playing very well this year. And I will stand on that. Like Dak Prescott's been playing very well, and despite them, the Cowboys not doing good. But like we talked about before, their defense is just getting pushed over by so many different teams. And a big, again, reason to that is, the absence of Micah Parsons. And it's not too hard to make that correlation, right? And on the flip side, you look at the improvement of the Packers defense with him there. Week 1 held the Lions to 12 points. Week 2 held the Commanders to 18 points, but technically it was like 10 because it was 10 for most of the game, but 18 points, right? And then you hold the Cleveland Browns to 13 points. No team has scored more than 20 on the Packers this season. And a lot of that has to do with drives are just stopping dead because the pass rush is able to get there. Much like how the Lions killed the Ravens on Monday night, where those 7 sacks are drive killers. Like, we can move down the field, right? But, like, we get to the 38, and then Lamar takes a sack at the 45. We're out of range at that point. And it's like, all that time was wasted for naught. And then before you know it, the other team doesn't have that many possessions. And it's like, again, we've talked about it before where it's like, if you're able to really dominate and win the game through the trenches, you limit the possessions of the other team. And of course, they're going to not, you limit their possessions, they're not going to score as many points. And so this game against the Packers in Dallas, man, and again, being that it's on primetime, we're going to be seeing a lot of Jerry Jones in frustration and a lot of angst and a lot of dismay. And despite, even if Dallas wins this, Micah Parsons and the whole stadium is going to be on his side as a person. Maybe not as a player, not all in this for the same team, right? But everyone can understand where it's like, look, they did you dirty because you're worth more than what you were given away for. But you were given away to an organization that you are going to be so happy to be a part of.
He's a
One of the
perfect fit in Green
cornerstone
Bay.
franchises in the league.
Right. To go from, truth to be told, to go from cornerstone franchise to cornerstone franchise.
Mm-hmm.
You're living a dream that no one gets to live. You know what I'm saying? As much of a circus as the Dallas Cowboys are as a team, the franchise treats their players really well
Mm-hmm.
in terms of service. Like once they're a contracted Dallas Cowboy, like you said, when you're a cowboy, and you're going to get treated like one. You get treated like damn near royalty in Dallas, from what all the reports I've seen of people who play for Dallas and whatnot. They get treated like royalty.
Mm-hmm.
It's no different in Green Bay. It's up the octave in Green Bay. From what I've seen clips of Micah Parsons talking about it, that he was like, it's hard to rival how Dallas treats its players, and Green Bay does it better. He's like, I landed in Green Bay and they asked me what I wanted for dinner and made it for me to meal to order every day, every meal. Make it to order every day. And what's your post-game meal? They'll make it for you fresh.
Mm-hmm.
It's treated like absolute royalty.
Which is so great. It's so great for teams to, again, when we talk about investing in players, sometimes a meal, that's an investment. Like you're treating them right, and you want to, as someone who works for that organization, you want to feel your value.
Correct. You want to feel that's how the outcome of loyalty comes.
Mm-hmm.
So now Micah Parsons, he's now felt it from two cornerstone franchises, but I think now he found the cornerstone franchise that's about to keep him and lock him down.
Mm-hmm.
And like, we're going to hold you down now because you just set us apart from just about everybody in this league.
Mm-hmm.
Because we were one or two pieces away, and you can be both of those pieces.
Yeah. And say what you will about Green Bay, but Green Bay is the only franchise in the NFL that does not have an owner. They have a board of directors. They have and
It's
so
the estate.
It's the estate. Whereas in Dallas, it's Jerry's world. He's the owner and the GM, and that's the only team in the NFL that has an owner as a GM. And so it's two very unique situations because in Green Bay, like I said, well, let me back up. In Dallas, right? If you're one of Jerry's boys, you're one of Jerry's boys. You're a superstar. You're a rock star, right? Like you're gonna be one of Jerry's boys until you're not, right? But Jerry's gonna have a lot of love for you so long as you're repping the star, right? And it's all about, again, we've talked about it before, the ego of Jerry Jones. They let Micah Parsons go large part because of ego. And in Green Bay, there's no such thing when it comes to their ownership because it's a collective. It's a group of people. And they have a solid GM that knows what the fuck he's doing to build pieces over time. And we've seen, it's funny to see that, at least in the history of our show, right, we've seen the passing of the torch of Aaron Rodgers into Jordan Love. And there was that one bumpy year where they didn't start too hot, but it wasn't until they upset the Lions on Thanksgiving and we're like, oh shit, Packers just found themselves their guy. And then from that moment on, Jordan Love's been the guy in Green Bay, and they have found their identity as a team under Matt LaFleur, who has adapted to the times of the NFL. Green Bay is a very adapting team. Dallas is not. It has taken Dallas like light years to get to the present moment. Where last year, it's funny, you and I were saying last year, Dallas, Jerry forgot how to run the ball and stop the run last year. But this year, he's going to make it a point of priority. Mate, you have a whole different team now with different players than last year. It's like, are you going to be stopping the run anyway? Probably not. But that was last year's problem. This year's problem is you can't cover anyone. You got no fucking corners like that can cover. And so
now there's just
Russell
more
Wilson
holes opening. Right, Russell Wilson throws for 450. Was it 490?
He threw for 450 and
450.
3 touchdowns, and Caleb threw for fucking like 260 for 4 touchdowns.
Right, so you have no pass coverage, you have no pass rush, because, again, you got rid of the one guy who was helping you. After fucking DeMarcus Lawrence is gone, you only have Micah Parsons on your front line. So you got rid of your one edge rush. The one cornerback you went all in on with Trayvon Diggs, he is a pedestrian.
Mhm.
He's just withering away into nothingness. But again, now he's alone. Now he's alone. So whatever silver lining he was that you thought he was, he's now alone. So he's in the same position that Micah Parsons was in, and now he's probably coming up on a contract soon too.
He's not going to give it to him. He's just
Not
not.
going to give it to him, and he's going to get traded away for fucking bullshit.
Hmm.
And that's what Jerry Jones is going to do.
You know,
And then Trayvon Diggs could go somewhere else and fucking play better.
which to piggyback off that, we have been seeing a lot as a theme within the last recent years. For instance, with the Giants, right? We've been seeing players leave certain organizations
And thrive.
and thrive in different organizations. Easiest one is Saquon to the Eagles. Now you got Indiana Jones. Who would have fucking thought?
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold. Geno Smith had a resurgence when he went to Seattle, right? Like
Geno Smith.
Geno Smith, Baker Mayfield in Tampa Bay. Who would have?
L.A.
Well, he
L.A.
did go to LA for that game.
He
for that one
revived his
game.
career in L.A.
He did, and then Tampa was like, "We'll give you that shot," and he earned that
Correct.
shot.
I
And
understand
then-
he was given the yeah, but we always got to throw the respect on where he revived his career. That was on that game-winning drive in L.A.
Oh yeah, against the Raiders. That was interesting.
In under 48-hour turnaround. Came off the plane, skimmed through the playbook, and won a game. That is the most epic comeback story ever.
That's a
They
fucking
probably
quarterback
shotgunned
right
a beer on the way to the locker room.
Just okay, let's get it. Let's get it. Fucking last player I'll say in that regard is Xavier McKinney, strong safety
Yes.
for the Giants, goes to Green Bay, and then his first year in Green Bay, his
Leads the league in interceptions or some shit.
Yep. So,
It's all that.
and by the way, I'm not sure if you heard CP, but Micah Parsons is also on Green Bay.
Yeah, and he has like 4 sacks already.
Green Bay is going to be pretty. It's going to be a hard matchup for Dallas, and the only way that they stay alive is if Dak puts up some ungodly numbers. That's their only way that they win this game, because if this is going to be a grindy game, I don't see Dallas winning it.
Absolutely not. They have nothing. They have no answers.
They have no answers. I do want to give a brief shout out to Javonte Williams, running back for the Cowboys. He has actually brought a running game back to Dallas and has actually made boots on the ground running in Dallas. Who would have fucking thought? So I want to give a big shout out to Javonte. He's doing really well, and it's good that he is recovering from that. I think it was Achilles injury, or no, sorry,
Yeah.
MCL injury a couple years back. But man, this is revenge game to the max, bro.
This is going to be the pettiest revenge game I've ever seen.
Bro, I can't wait for the memes that are going to be of Jerry Jones after this game. It's going to be great.
Every time the camera turns on Jerry Jones, it looks like he's about to burst into tears. Every time I'm watching a Dallas Cowboy game and the camera turns on him, it looks like he is about to burst into fucking tears.
Bro, he was crying in Chicago. He was crying.
He's been crying at home for years. That man cries at home. Without a doubt, he cries at home, and then he just shows up to work with a smile on his face, and his eyes are still red from crying.
Bro, I saw someone make Yoda Caucasian, and it's like, this is Jerry Jones.
Jerry Jones, I agree. Yep,
I gotta
absolutely.
find that meme, but I know I sent it to you
Abso-fucking-lutely.
before.
Abso-fucking-lutely, Jerry Jones is a white Yoda.
Fucking bug-eyed motherfucker.
I'm never going to be able to unsee that now.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Shit. CV, any final thoughts on this game?
Dallas, I hope you can keep it competitive, but this seems like this is going to be a struggle for you. Green Bay, just keep it clean, and you'll walk away with, you don't want to call them easy wins in the NFL, but this is a pretty clear-cut victory for you guys if you play well.
It would definitely be a statement game for them to get right back on track as top contenders in the NFC. But
Right.
man, what a week ahead of us. We have a great week 4 of this Thursday and this Sunday as well. So CP, with that, are you ready to pick some games?
Yeah, man, let's get it going.
Let's get it going. So last week you brought home the bacon, coming away 10-6, and I went 8-8 last week. So
Oof.
it was a solid week. But let's see if we can get some better numbers this week. Let's start with Thursday with the Seattle Seahawks coming to Arizona to play the Cardinals. Who you got for this one?
You have to give me Seattle. I feel like they just have more cohesiveness.
Mhm.
That receiving room really needs to get on the same page in Arizona.
Yeah, I think the injuries are really tough to overcome in Arizona. I'm gonna take Seattle as well. Again, Sam Darnold's been balling. I gotta give him credit on that. But Arizona, if they lose this one, it's gonna be tough because again, NFC West divisional matchups, these matter a lot going forward. So let's move to Sunday's slate of games. Like I said before, Sunday is your birthday, my friend. So happy almost birthday.
Thank you, my dude.
But let's Sunday's slate of games starting in Minnesota. You wake up birthday morning to the Steelers playing the Vikings in Dublin. Do the Steelers come away victorious?
No, we
Vikings?
don't. Yeah, I'm going Vikings. We cannot allow an offense like Minnesota to have a 400-yard game. They will fucking score 40. This is one of the best offenses we've actually gone up against this season so far.
Mm-hmm.
Our schedule really doesn't do us much favors from here out. If this offense has a 400-yard total offense game, the score will not be in the 20s.
Mm-hmm.
It will be in the upper 30s into the 40s. So, no, I'm going Minnesota.
Oh, man, I'm gonna go Minnesota as well. Again, the defense is concerning in Pittsburgh. Carson Wentz is going to be starting, if I'm not mistaken, and I just think that Kevin O'Connell, he's done the London games before, so
He's
like
gone to Europe before.
yeah, he's gone to Europe before, so he's done this before. He knows how to prepare his team. I'm not going to question Tomlin that he can't have the team prepared, but man, it's going to be a tough challenge to stop
Is
Justin
this our
Jefferson.
first game in Europe?
This is what?
Is this our first game in Europe?
I don't think so. No, you guys have definitely played in Europe before.
It's
Probably
definitely
against
been
the
a while
Jags.
then. It's definitely been a while then because I don't remember the last time we were in Europe.
I think Ben was still playing the last time you guys were in Europe.
Oh, that was when we were only doing London games. They hadn't even expanded yet.
Yeah. To my knowledge, I could be
Maybe
wrong.
one game then. Maybe once.
So, hey, it'll be interesting. But we have a lot more international games this year as well. So we'll have to keep an eye on those. Let's move back to the States. Let's go to Atlanta, where the Commanders take on the Atlanta Falcons. And if I'm not mistaken, Mariota is still starting for the Commanders.
Yeah, I
for
think I
this week.
saw something earlier today that Mariota is going to move forward right
Mhm.
now, but I think next week is when Daniels should come back. Like, not
Mhm.
this game, next game. But even with that, I think I'm going to go with Washington. I'm going to go with Washington on that one.
Okay. Any particular reason?
Oh, shit. Michael Penix, I don't know how he's going to shake off a 30-point shutout.
Yeah, that's tough.
You know what I'm saying? We've been really monitoring his maturity. This is a big test of maturity if he
Mhm.
keeps that starting spot going into this week.
I saw an interesting stat where the under Michael Penix, they have only won games when their opposition scores less than 10. If they score
Oh
more
my
than
god.
10, if they score more than 10, the Falcons are not winning that game, which is crazy to think about.
That's horrible. Oh my god.
With that, I'm taking Washington to score at least 10 points to
I
beat
didn't know
the
that's a fucking real thing. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is a
That
real
is
thing.
not a good stat. That
Raheem
is not a
Morris,
good
man.
stat.
We're gonna get into the Falcons at some point this year, man, because they are. I don't know what to make of them, but we'll have another game to make a decision on them. But let's move to the MetLife, where we have the debut of Jackson Dart's starting first start against the Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers take on the G-Men. I'm taking the Chargers. I'm guessing you take the Chargers as well. Okay.
Yes. But I am going to keep an eye out for Jackson Dart. I do want, before, I said it before when we were off air, I'll say it again. Can we please keep the comparisons to Jackson Dart and Justin Herbert at a minimum? Let the fucking kid have his rookie debut before going up against someone who has swagger and a step at the moment. You know what I'm saying? Can we please just let this kid play and let the jitters happen? The butterflies are coming. It's what's happening. He's playing in New York, one of the most hostile environments ever when it comes to sports. Hostile, loyal, toxic, all at the same time. He's going in against a hot LA team. Do not compare them together. Do not do it. You will just be disappointed.
Mm-hmm. I don't know who's comparing to Herbert, but they should stop.
Just wait.
They,
Just wait. It's going to happen. It's going to be the media. It's not going to be anybody that we know. It's literally going to be the media. They're going to be like, look at what he does that he can't do. It's like, look at it. They're going to start pointing fingers at a rookie who's playing Justin Herbert right now.
Mhm.
Just wait. It's going to happen.
I think, to your point too, I think that look, if Giants fans, if this is what you want, right? If this is what you want, be patient. If you're going to give him the start, give him patience with the start, because it's not you're not going to see who he is as a quarterback game one. You need more time. You need more games. But again, you have to understand that, look, sometimes teams throw their quarterback into the fire because they got nothing else. Typically, they're desperate to do it. But some teams, look, if you have the grace to sit behind someone, there's some benefit to that. Look, Jackson Dart, I hope he plays well, but if he does not, look, it's just one game, and he has another game to prove himself.
Yeah.
But I'm taking the Chargers.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So CP, this next matchup is one of two games where both teams are 0-3. We have the Tennessee Titans and the Houston Texans in the first 0-3 bowl this week. So, who you got?
This one's interesting. It's really hard to make this one.
I think I know.
Because they're both 0-3 for different reasons. I think I'm going to go Tennessee with the upset. They're 0-3 but on an upward trajectory.
Mm-hmm.
And Houston is 0-3 and lost in the water.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm going to go Houston simply because, again, I just like their defense more. Will Anderson, man, if there wasn't a
Will
guy
Anderson's a dog.
If there wasn't a guy named Myles Garrett, man, Will Anderson could be Defensive Player of the Year because he's just playing that well. But Myles Garrett, he's a living, breathing testament of pure muscle in Cleveland. So this is going to be interesting. If Tennessee beats Houston and Houston goes 0-4 and Tennessee has a pulse left,
things to think about.
It makes Titans games a lot more interesting.
It makes the name Cam Warrior a little bit more comfortable to talk about.
It makes a lot more jerseys and things to think about.
Things to think about.
Okay, CP, we're going to Tampa. Eagles, Bucs. Who you got?
This one's tough. This one is very, very tough. You're gonna have to give me Tampa.
Ooh.
They're gonna put the blemish on that core.
Damn, I like it. I'm going Tampa as well.
Gotta do it, man. You gotta hope for the blemish.
This Tampa knows how to play Philly. Todd Bowles knows how to play Nick Sirianni. And it's going to be a chess match. And I think this is probably the first game that we've actually described a game as a chess match. But this is going to be it. And it's going to be a great, great game between these two great teams. But I'm surprised. I thought you were going to go Philly on that one.
No, I like Baker a little bit more right now.
That's what I'm talking about, baby.
They're just so stacked on offense. It's bad.
They really are. And again, that rookie.
They really are. It's crazy.
We'll get it right one day.
We'll get it right. Don't worry.
Let's move to New England, where we have the Panthers taking on the Patriots. Who you got for this one?
Give me Carolina.
Really? They carry another one.
I think they're going to pull off another one. I think them shutting out Atlanta was that turning point game that I've been waiting for. So I would take a closer look. I think that was that turning point game.
I hope, man, because you know me, I too have a soft spot for Carolina, and I want to see Bryce Young do good. But man, I'm gonna take Vrabel in those Patriots. Man,
Vrabel's aggressive.
They play tough. They play very, very tough, and I gotta respect that. So I'll take the Patriots on this one. Let's move to Buffalo, where we have the Saints against the Bills. CP, I already have you down for Buffalo. Is that
okay? Yeah. Oof. Ugly. They did the Saints no favors this year.
Yeah, it's going to be very rough for New Orleans. I'm taking Buffalo, clearly. I think everyone's taking Buffalo. If I had to guess the point spread on this, I'm guessing it'd be 14.
At least.
Yeah.
At least 14.
Kev, I'm sorry, man.
It's like 10, it's got to be at least 10.5. It's crazy.
I'd be surprised if it was just 10.5. Oh, man. Let's move to Detroit, where we have Cleveland and that number one defense going up against the white-hot Detroit Lions. DP, who you got for this one?
You're going to have to give me Detroit because they have both that red-hot defense and offense. Mm-hmm. While the Browns are hot on defense, they don't know what to do at quarterback right now on offense. They're going with Joe Flacco or they're bringing in Dylan Gabriel. So what's the play there? Meanwhile, you have the Detroit Lions that are just salivating every week coming into every game, ready to just beat someone up. Low-key, Cam Scatterbo would make a nice Detroit Lion.
Surprisingly, though, they wouldn't need him behind Gibbs and Money Monty.
No, they wouldn't, but he would make a crazy fullback.
He would. He absolutely would. Him blocking.
Kept him on triple option, bro.
Jesus.
Just give him a running start at a body.
Oh, my God. Things to think about. I'm taking Detroit. Again, they're just the more complete team than Cleveland is, but Cleveland will take their pound of flesh. Last thing I'll say about Detroit, last week, I want to give a big shout out to Jack Campbell. He was a very unsung hero in that win against the Ravens. He was perfect at the mic spot. So big shout out to Jack Campbell on Monday night. Let's move to San Francisco, where you have Trevor Lawrence and the Jags coming to play against the 49ers and Mac Jones. Who you got?
Give me San Francisco, man. I like Mac Jones with Kyle Shanahan. You know, Mac Jones he's a mature, poised quarterback. He came out of college mature and poised, but he somehow wasn't a fit with Bill Belichick, but he is a fit with Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan seems to be able to lift quarterbacks
Mm-hmm.
just up from what they were and make them something else. He did it with Brock Purdy. He did it with the end of Jimmy G, and he's doing it with Mac Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the nickname quarterback whisperers should go from Brian Daboll to Kyle Shanahan.
Daboll
Things to
lost
think
that
about.
win a long time ago.
It's still there. It lingers with him. Don't you? It's still there. I hear people say it all the time. Things to think about.
They're living in the past, man. I'm gonna for all the reasons you said, I'm gonna take San Fran as well. Mac Jones is just that prototype that Kyle Shanahan likes: pocket passing, clean, don't turn it over, win the game.
Just listen to what I have to say and we'll win, essentially.
Exactly.
Don't fuck it
Let's
up.
Yeah, pretty much. Don't fuck it up, kid. I got this. Let's move to LA, where we have Indiana Jones and the Colts coming to play the Rams. This should be a fun one. Who you got?
This one should be a lot of fun watching Daniel Jones go up against Matt Stafford. That should be an interesting matchup. I think you have to give me the Colts.
Ryan
You got to give
High
me the
with
Colts on
Indiana
this one.
Jones.
It took 3 weeks for them to punt for the first time. They've been playing on a different wave.
I know.
I got to go with the Colts.
It's so crazy to just see the Colts be as hot as they are. I'm taking the Rams, but man, if the Colts win, we may just have to start dive right into them, into the Colts next week.
Right. Absolutely.
Like they are. We definitely got to talk about them soon because it has been, again, a resurgence in Indianapolis. Oh shit. So I have the Chicago Bears and the Las Vegas Raiders. Chris Palmer,
Oof.
you got a soft spot for both of these guys. Who you
I
got?
know. You may actually be surprised by this, but give me Chicago.
I am actually pretty surprised with that.
The disarray of Vegas outshines the inconsistencies of Chicago.
First time you pick Chicago all year.
Probably in about 2 years. I don't think I picked them last year either.
You probably did at some point. I'll have to go back and check. But yeah, I'm gonna go with you on this one. I'm gonna go with Chicago. Again, the Raiders, man. It's just been
Just disarray, I saw something the other day. 51% of Ashton Genty's yards are coming after contact.
that's horrible.
And of those
I mean,
runs after
so-
contact, I think they said something like 65% of the contact made is behind the line of scrimmage.
That's horrible. That's
You want to talk about not being done any favors? Get Ashton Genty out of Vegas. Get that man out of Vegas and put him somewhere where he can go play. Put him in Indy. Things to think about.
they have. That's the theme of the episode. I love it. Okay, Chris Palmer, move with me to Kansas City. Baltimore Ravens playing the Kansas City Chiefs.
If you don't beat Kansas City by fucking 20, there's a problem. And I'm going to say that for real.
Mm-hmm.
You guys should have no problem walking into Arrowhead and putting your foot on their throat and walking away.
Mm-hmm.
But do not let yourselves be fooled about apparently your guys' mental thing where once you go up 14, you think the game is over. No matter when it happens.
Yep.
Just play the full fucking game, please. And just score 30 and you win.
God, I hope it's
You score 30, you win.
You going Ravens?
I'm going Ravens. Giving you the fucking faith of the Ravens. Don't fuck it up.
Chiefs. I don't
Arrowhead.
I don't think we win this one.
Mm.
Because of how bad our defense is. And again, a lot of our errors are mental errors. Can Lamar overcome a mental hurdle of beating Mahomes? He's only beaten Mahomes once, but he's seen him a lot. Can he just overcome that? Yes, it's not the same Mahomes as before and years ago. He's not putting up MVP caliber numbers. Lamar's been the better quarterback the last couple years, but self-inflicted errors. And I've been seeing
And the
that.
frustration that follows.
I've been seeing that 2 out of the 3 weeks so far of a lot of self-inflicted errors. If we don't score 30, we've fucked ourselves. But so far, we've scored at least 30 in every game. I hope we win. I don't think we do. I'm taking the Chiefs.
It's fair.
Let's go to the Sunday night primetime Packers versus Dallas. Who you got?
Green Bay.
that
Green Bay
that
is
was
not
very
close.
quick.
What? It should have been faster. It should have been on the sheet.
It should have
Dallas
been
is
on
not.
the sheet. My name is here. Put it here.
Put it on that one. Put me on green.
Does Dallas have any chance?
They have a chance. Any given Sunday. That
Mhm.
will always be my saying with football. Any given Sunday, anything can happen.
Mhm.
The uphill climb that it would be to defeat this Green Bay team. It's going to take a full team effort, and Dallas simply just does not have a full team to do it.
Mhm.
And that's the unfortunate fact.
Yeah. And to your point, right? Last week the Packers played the best defense in the league. This week they're playing the Cowboys. That field is going to be so open for Jordan Love. He is
You
going
want to
to
talk about a get-right game?
that the field is going to be so much more open than what it was last week. The lights will be brighter, and there's going to be a lot of drama to this game. But I'm going to take the Packers as well. But Dallas, their only chance is if Dak just shows out and he just starts flinging that shit. If he puts up like 350 yards, 4 touchdowns, yeah, they have a chance to win. But
Don't expect that with no CeeDee Lamb, dude.
I know that's what makes it a big uphill climb.
Don't expect that. You know what I'm
Unless
saying?
George Pickens has a fucking career game.
Right. That fucking crash out.
Oh my god. So let's move to Monday night's slate of games. We have 2 games on Monday. We have the second matchup of 2 0-3 teams, the New York Jets and the Miami Dolphins. A second 0-3 bowl. Who you got?
You have to give me the Jets. I think the Jets are playing better than Miami, and again, they're playing better than their record shows.
Okay. This one's tough. I'm going to take Miami. This is literally like my last time picking Miami. If they don't win this, I have no faith that they'll win anything else going forward. If you
fucked.
lose to I do agree with you. The Jets are better than 0-3, but they're still not that good.
No, but they are no longer the same old Jets. That is no longer a thing.
I don't know.
That is no longer a thing. They are a better team than the same old Jets.
I don't know about
That is a mantra that I think is on the way out.
I hope you're wrong, but we'll get more into that as the weeks go on.
You
But
hope I'm wrong.
I hope you're wrong. No, sorry. I
You
hope
hope
you're.
it stays.
I hope you're
You hope
right.
it stays same old Jets.
Actually, you know what? It's been fun to make fun of the Jets, man. There's a lot of memes out of there, so you know what? I take it back. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
he
hope
wants to
you're
keep
wrong.
the same old Jets.
Every house needs a doormat, but
Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna take the Dolphins to win this one in Miami. Final game of Week 4: Cincinnati coming to Denver to play the Broncos. Bengals, Broncos. CP, who you got?
In Mile High, give me
Mm-hmm.
Denver.
Okay, I like it. I'm gonna go with Denver as well. I think that defense is good, but man, Cincinnati, Jake Browning looked like he got thrashed last week.
He has no chance. All right, guys, there you have it. There's our picks for the week. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe. If you are looking to come on for an interview, please contact myself or John. We have openings for the rest of the season. We will pencil you in and we will have a conversation. But until then, thanks, guys. This week is going to be a lot of fun.
And CP, happy birthday Sunday.
Thank you, my friend.